Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Testing Mini Bytes. I'm your friend Aman Saktivel, and in this video, we are going to get into action. Like all these videos, we have learned about basics about GitHub Actions, what are the different components of a GitHub Action workflow. But this is the place where we are going to start writing the actual YAML file. But what I would suggest is try to do it yourself, right? You can basically get an idea how to run your web test by watching the steps on the right hand side here. Once you do this, you try to do it yourself. Maybe you can pause the video now. If you have watched all the videos prior to this, I'm sure you would be able to complete this. But if you cannot do it, don't worry. It's going to be very, very simple, and we can do it in another 5 minutes, right? Good. So this video, we're going to focus mainly on running our web test. I'm going to show you how normally we would run that in local, and we will go step by step on setting up these things in a YAML workflow, right? Without wasting much time, let me go to the IntelliJ workspace. Now, this is a very simple Selenium test that I took. For example, notice basically I have got this system.get property username. This is because, let's say, in a normal world, we normally pass the username, passwords, some API tokens or whatever from the secrets. So I'm also going to cover that in this particular video itself. So let's say you have to pass your username and password instead of hard coding in your browser. You want to pass it as a Maven arguments. How we are going to do that with the help of GitHub Actions. In case of Jenkins, we will show it in Jenkins secrets, but how we are going to do it and in case of GitHub Actions is also something that I'm going to cover. So it's a very simple test. I'm defining all the capabilities and basically creating a driver pointing to localhost 4444 and loading the Google and I'm just asserting the title of the Google, waiting for 10 seconds so that we can see the execution and quitting the browser. So it's a very simple test. And if you have a look at my localhost 4444, I have my Selenide up and running. You can also have your Selenium grid, but I'm a big fan of Selenide, so I have it up and running. I also have Selenide UI so that I can watch the live execution. You notice very closely, we have enabled the VNC as true. For now, I'm not recording the video, so I kept it as false. So just the VNC. So let's try to run it and see whether how the test is working here. The same setup we are going to replicate inside the GitHub runner. So now I'm not passing any username and password, so it is null. But yeah, that's fine. Let's go there and let's run it. So if you notice, the test is running. It has opened the Google, it executed, and the test is fine. Right. Let's say if I want to pass the username and password, normally I can basically do Maven clean test, and I have created a Maven profile, so I can use -p web. If you take a look at my pom.xml, I have a Maven profile. Okay, so this repository is again available in the GitHub, so you don't have to worry about it. I have a profile called as web. If I call this, it will basically trigger the web test.xml. The web test.xml, basically I have the test case which I want to run. I have given the test class that I want to run. So basically the link is like this. Okay, but instead you can also use groups to run it. This is applicable for your JUnit as well as the test.ng. So what I can do is, instead of the profiling, I could also use -d groups, and I can also give web, which means it will pick all the tests that are web groups. Okay, but yeah, anything whatever that feels comfortable to you, you can use them, because these are the two ways that people normally use. So -p web, and I'm passing the username as for now Amuten, and -d password as password for now. Yeah, so let's try to run it, and just to show how this normally we do, right? We will replicate it in the YAML file in a few minutes. Right. So now the test started, and it should basically have running here. It will wait for 10 seconds, and it basically, yeah, the execution is complete. But if you notice very closely, the system.get property username basically pick the Maven arguments that you have passed to the test. See, again, this is for the Java project. For NPM, you can also pass the similar ways. It's all same, right? Good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a YAML file. So let's go to the .github folder. If you don't have a .github folder, you can create it, and then inside that you can create a workflow, and inside that basically you can create a YAML file. So right click, new file, and basically you can give it as demo some YAML. Okay, my keyboard is going crazy. Demo web YAML. Okay, whatever the name that you want to give, you can give it, right? And see, I prefer using IntelliJ for creating my YAML files, because it comes with auto population. Even you can also create from the GitHub remote, but my suggestion is to use, yeah, the IntelliJ. So it's telling, hey, you are creating an YAML file inside the GitHub workflow, but you didn't use this. So you can also click on this. It basically adds those things for you. But yeah, in my case, I am very smart. I know what to do. So I can give the name run web test in GitHub Actions. This is the name of the workflow. Yeah, it is optional. And after that, you can give on, right? Uh, so these are all the steps we have here. So first, choose the trigger. If you want to choose the trigger, you need to mention on. Or if you don't know what to do, press Control and space. It gives you a list of option. Okay, first I want to choose the trigger. How you want to trigger it? I want to do manually trigger it. So I can choose workflow dispatch. Two, then choose the runner. Right? You want to decide which runner you want to use: Mac OS, Windows OS, or Linux. For now, for deciding that, I need to first create a jobs section, and inside the job section, I need to give the name of the job. So name of the job is run web test. Okay, and inside that, I can choose runs on, because that's the machine that I want to choose, right? Now the second step is choose the runner. So we want to choose where we want to run the test. So runs on Ubuntu latest. That's it. After that, set up the project. Okay, set up the project is basically steps, right? So first step, I'm giving a name for this step. I want to check out the project or pull the project into their runner. So we have the machine ready. Now we are pulling the project into the machine, right? You can first set up the Java and then pull the project. Anything is fine. Like you can do, like you can you can first set up the Selenoid, then the project, then set up Java. Whatever that choose, whatever you want. You can interchange these 3 to 5 steps. Okay, but the last step should be always last, right? And good. Now to pull the project, I don't know how to pull the project, so I can basically go and then say check out projects from GitHub Actions. That's it. It gives you a step that is already built by someone. So it is telling use this. You can also pass parameters like this, and it's also giving you any parameters that you want. But for now, I want a very simple thing to be done. So I just copy the users and I go here, and I basically users, right? I'm just using this, which means it will pull the project into the GitHub runner. So now the second step, I put a hyphen and I name of the step. I prefer giving names to the step so that people can understand it very clearly. Next step is basically set up the project, set up Java. So yeah, I want to set up Java. Let's go here and search for set up Java in GitHub Actions. GitHub Actions, and you get that step for this as well. You go down, you see, hey, once you set up the check out the project, you call this, that's it. So again, inputs Java hyphen version and the distributions are mandatory. Okay, so whenever you are using this Java version thing, you have to basically give this what is the flavor of Java you want and what is the version. Now I will copy this whole stuff until the users. I go here. This is basically set up Java. Okay, and here I basically paste it. Sorry, I didn't copy it properly. Copy it, paste it. Okay, and now it's showing some errors. Let's see what is that. Okay, everything is fine. So theme origin is the distribution. That's fine for us. Let's remove this command. We don't need this. And I don't want 17. I want 11. So I use 11. And this should be here. Uh, this should be here. This should be here. So if you see an error, which means there is some problem with the indentation. So these all should be aligned at the same places. So if you notice, users with, okay, and then there is a two space, and then you give the arguments for this. So yeah, now we set up the Java. That's also good. Now the third step, we go to the same alignment like this, and we give a name for this. What is the third step we want to do? We want to set up the Selenoid container, right? For that, we already have an actions with us. So you can also search it in Google, but in my case, basically I have this already here. I will copy it and put here. Copy it and put it. My keyboard is going crazy. Okay, so now last versions as one. And if you notice, there is again an alignment problem here. So you have to basically I don't know what happened. Just give me a moment. So yeah, there is a problem with my Bluetooth connectivity to my keyboard. So but yeah, so now you have these all in the same line, and then we have two spaces for this arguments that we pass. So what we are basically telling is, let's say, try to set up the Selenide server using this particular action. A name of, you can give ID for your step as well. But yeah, this is not a mandatory step. What we are telling here is, if there is a failure at this step, there is no need for you to continue. If the Selenide is not up and running, anyways, your test will fail. So there is no reason for you to continue further. And while setting up the Selenide, use this particular version, have 10 browsers, and then you use browsers as Chrome. Let's say if you want to also set up Firefox, you can also pass like this. But more information will always be given in the GitHub repository of the step. And you can also mention how many versions of Chrome you want to install. Like last version 1 indicates, let's say today the latest version is 104, then it will download the 104 Chrome version. If you mention 1,2, then it will download 104 and 103 for you. But for now, I just need one Chrome version. That is fine for me. Yeah, now this is done. And at the end, just need to run the test. So to run the test, it's very, very simple. So you all know, let's go create a new step, and give the name as run the web test. And I simply gonna say run command, and you can say Maven clean test, and then -p web. So this is what we ran here, right? We ran here -p web. Yes, this is what we ran here. The same way -d username. Okay, uh, space. Guys, be very careful. If you give two spaces somewhere, it might not work. Okay, it will throw you invalid. So let's say if you give couple of spaces here, then it may not work. So please be very careful about spaces here. And then -d username. This username, I have to basically get it from secrets, because I cannot hard code it here, because people might know my username and password. I may use my girlfriend name as password, so I don't want to show to the world. So I simply say secret start username, okay, and -d password equals dollar. This is the basically variable representation. So secret start password. Okay, that's all. Once you do this, make sure you have the secret set. Okay, so if you go to the project where you want to run this, go to the settings, go to the secret section, go to the actions, and configure your repository secrets here. Let's say you want to create one more secret. You can say API key that I want to use. Uh, API key that I want to use. You can do blah 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 and click on add secret. Okay, once you do this, you can use this in your code. Okay, so Yeah, but for now I'm not going to create anything, but we already have the username and password here. Okay, so that's all. So now we have the whole thing ready. It's all about just committing the code, basically add a new workflow for demo. That's okay. Click on that. Oh, sorry. And then we just basically push the code. I'm directly pushing now to the master. You don't do this, but yeah, let's go to the actions tab, and we should see something here. So that is, what is that? Run web test, GitHub runner. No, not this one. What is the name that we have given? Uh, we have given run web test in GitHub actions. Okay, I think we already have something. Okay, so this is the one. So if you notice, this is representing the demo-web.yaml, which you are interested. Let's try to run the test. That's it, guys. So we followed this. Like, this is how normally first we'll configure the machine. We set up the project, we set up Java, set up the Selenoid container, and then we run the test. But there is a trick here. I'll teach you now. Yeah. So first, let's see how the test is running. If you notice the build name here, the job name, uh, the setup Java is done. So it's now pulling the Docker images to start the Selenide server. Yeah, so basically it pulled the project, everything is there. Again, guys, I think there is a problem with the password that I had. That is what causing the issue. Maybe either I should remove it or I will remove it from here. uh, I will remove this because this password might have an extra space that is being treated as a different. This is the error that I was speaking about. Like, it is telling unknown lifecycle phase from. I don't know. This is because there might be a space inside the password that is allowing it to be treated as a different Maven profile. So now I will not pass this. So let's do a commit. We will only either I go and fix the password or I just remove the password for now. I think removing the password is much easy for me. So let's do it. Let's go here again and go to the actions. Go here, run it again. That's it. It's also, I'm also glad that it didn't work in the first time. So you can also see the issue. I think the issue is not very clearly indicated there. It will tell unknown phase from, but there is actually a missing space there. Okay. So I don't know, like they should have, this is the problem with the Maven stuff. Okay. So also, if you notice one of the things here, every time you try to run your web test, it will download all the Maven dependencies. We will also optimize this. But in the meantime, while the test runs, let's say where you are setting up this project, this step is not mandatory. The reason being, um, if you go to the runner related details, okay, okay, if you go to this action/runner images repo, there is the details about this Ubuntu latest machine that we are using. So there is a lot of details about this. There are already softwares installed in it. So if you notice very closely here, it will already have Java installed. Okay, so you can have a look at what are the different stuff. So it has Pulumi installed, Docker installed, a lot of CLI tools installed, packages installed. You have even binary set as well. So, but there will be a space where it will also have Java. It it will have Java. So if you notice, it has 3 versions of Java, and by default, the 11 version of Eclipse to Tmarine is already available. So if you want to run your test on Tmarine and 11 version, you don't even have to do that because it's there already in this particular image. So you can also remove this. Okay, but let's say if you want to run it on 14, either you change this path to this, or you can set up. I think setting here as 17 is the easiest way. Okay, so this you can have it as a reference, like what are all the different things that are available. Even you have human runner if you want to run your postman test. So all these things are basically already present. Okay, so now let's go here, and if you notice, now the tests have passed. And if you notice, -d username, the secrets is now hidden here. And yeah, that's all. So if you go down, it has pulled all the Maven dependencies, and then it tried to execute the test, and it hidden the password here also. So username and password. So since we are not passing the password, it is null. But yeah, all the tests got passed. So this is how you do it. But the one problem here is every time we are downloading the Maven dependencies, we will also solve this by using Maven cache in the next videos. But I hope you love this tutorial. If yes, please do subscribe and share it with your friends. I'll see you guys in another great video. Tada, bye bye from Maven. Bye bye, guys.